Welcome back, my friend. Thank you again for stopping by. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful to have you back. It's such a joy and a privilege to be here with you, to spend this great time with you today. I'd like us to talk about some great principles of growth that have been helping me in my life, that continue to help me, that I feel will be very great to you. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you some 3 principles. It depends on how lengthy it gets. Maybe I'll share just one, but I intend to share 3 principles of personal development, of growth, that will help you in your personal journey. So what does growth mean to you? What does it mean to you when we talk about the subject of growth? We are not talking about biological growth, because that happens. When a baby is born, regardless of what they do or don't do, they grow. They eat, they sleep, they poop, and they grow. You don't need to do anything to grow biologically. Nature has it for you. But when it comes to real life, my dear, you've got to grow by yourself. You've got to put in the work. It doesn't need to be hard work, but you need to put in your portion, your part of the work to help you grow. Otherwise, you're going to be stagnant. You're going to possibly retrogress, and you're going to hate your life. And you're also going to be always complaining in your life because you're not happy with your life. It's when you're not growing that you're not happy with your life. But when you are growing, you will see how excited it is to live. You will see how excited it is to wake up in the morning because you have something awesome to look forward to. On the other hand, if you're doing nothing, if you're not exploring yourself, if you're not exploiting the gold mine that God has put in you, you don't enjoy your life. You're always nagging. You're possibly being envious and jealous of other people who are living their great lives, who are taking adventures, who are taking risks and moving on in life. That should not be you. Don't sit on the sidelines watching others dive, enjoy, and take those great adventures. Get in the pool. Let's enjoy this together. So today I'll be talking about number 1, the principle of growth, which has to do with intentionality. Like I said, growth doesn't just happen on its own. We all have potential in us. Your head is not empty. Your body that was brought onto this great planet Earth, this beautiful universe, is not here by accident. It didn't appear here empty. There is great potential in you. There is great potential in everyone. And unfulfilled potential, maybe you feel that you haven't fulfilled your potential. That is great. Unfulfilled potential is not negative. It is still great. Unfulfilled potential is like a piece of land that is filled with gold mine that is yet to be exploited, that is yet to be explored, that is yet to be mined, to get all that jewel, to get all that minerals, all that gold out of it. So if you feel that your potential, you haven't explored, you haven't fulfilled your potential, it's great. It's a great time for you to start doing that, to start exploiting yourself, to start exploring yourself, to start taking those adventures you need to take, to start growing and to start living your best life yet. Potential looks forward to optimism. Potential hints on greatness. Potential promises success. So my question to you is, do you have a personal plan for your personal growth? Is there a plan for your growth at all? Is there a plan for your life? Do you have a strategy, like a blueprint that is going to help you, or that is already helping you to grow? That is the starting point. Do you even know what you want in life? Because if we don't know what we want in life, we don't know which path to take to go and get it. The how to get our plans to work, the very bits and pieces of the how, we don't need to know all of that outright. But at least we have an outline of what we want, how we want it to play out. then God, by his supernatural power through this bountiful, glorious universe, will orchestrate things, people, events, situations, and circumstances to bring this plan to fruition in our lives. So I ask you, what is your personal plan for your personal growth? And it's personal because each one's desire, each one's life, each one's growth is different. What I want is different from you. What you want is different from your friend, and it's different from your brother or your sister or your cousin. We are all uniquely different. So we will have different plans for our personal growth. What is yours? Do you have one? If you don't, that is the first thing. Go put together a plan for your growth. You need that. It's a must. I challenge you, if you don't do that yet, don't hop onto any social media platform to look at other people's lives. 1 year, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, possibly in the next 10 years. Where would you like to be? What would you like to be? Where would you like to be? How would you like to be living your life? It is your life. It is your life, and you get to live it once. When you're gone, you're gone. So what is your personal growth for your personal life? So in talking about the principle of intentionality, you want to be able to talk about, or at least get together, how to get better at what you do, whatever that you do, how you want to get better at it. If you have a job, if you have a business, you want to be able to get better and better every day. You want to be able to constantly improve, constantly advance, constantly accelerate, constantly making progress. That is growth. So how are you going to do it? When do you want to do it? These are things that we must answer. If it has to do with relationships, intentionality. How are you going to improve your relationships? With your children, with your spouse, with your parents, with your colleagues, with your business people, whoever you have relationships with. How are you going to improve your relationships? How are you going to gain more in-depth in your wisdom as a person? In your understanding of life, of yourself as a person. These have to be intentional, because if we are not intentional about these things, about these subjects, we will not achieve them. Because growth doesn't just happen. You have to make it happen. You have to intend it. You have to want it. You have to desire it. You must be hungry to grow. And that is when we are on the mission or on the path to growth, sometimes we are trapped in gaps. Where we are and where we want to be, that space, that gap, we always have them. They will always be there unless we intentionally crush them, or unless we intentionally bridge those gaps. Unless we intentionally destroy those gaps, they will be there and they will block us and they will stop us. But we do not want that to happen. So we want to be able to overcome those gaps. We want to be able to bridge those gaps. And what are these gaps? Because before you can overpower them, before you can destroy them, you have to be able to first even identify what those gaps are. So what are those gaps? If you want to think about some of these gaps, even before I share these with you, what are some of these gaps that we encounter on the path of growth? Can you think about that for a moment? The number one gap that we encounter on our path to greatness, on our path to growth, is the gap of assumption. We assume that growth is by accident. Get rid of that assumption that, hey, I will not just grow. I will not by default get to where I want to be. I have to be intentional with my growth. That is the first thing. It's not by accident. It's not by default. It's by intention. It's by work, and not hard physical work we're talking about. We're talking about that mental work to overcome that gap of assumption. Get it? Number two, the next growth gap that many people get caught up in is the gap of knowledge, or call it the knowledge gap. Many people say, I don't know how to grow. Okay, Sarah, you're here talking about growth and the fact that there is the principle of intentionality. I have to grow intentionally, but I don't know how to grow. Okay, in today's aging time, you have no excuse to say that you don't know how to grow. It's at your fingertips. It's on your phone. You have it. Type it into Google. How do I grow personally? And see what you come up with. Thousands, if not millions, of ways that you can grow yourself. There can be overload of information, I understand. So narrow it down. Sift through, see what will help you, what will not help you. If you need to get a life coach to help you, get it. It's your life. You want to make it the best as you can. So go ahead. You have no excuse to say that you don't know how to grow. So overcome that gap of knowledge. I don't know how to grow. Throw your hands in the air and go like that. I don't know how to grow. Okay. Then you're going to remain where you are. However, I don't want that for you. I really do not want that for you, and you certainly do not want that for yourself. So you have the obligation to overcome that gap of knowledge. That knowledge gap, you must overcome it. Kill it. Destroy it. Okay? Search how to grow. And take that first step. How do I grow myself? How do I personally grow? Spend time on that instead of time envying other people. Instead of time being jealous of other people. Spend time on outlining your personal growth. Put it together into a plan. Get a special notebook. You are special. So get a special notebook for yourself and put that together. Number 3, the timing gap. Oh, I think it's too late now. What can I do? I'm 43. Oh, I'm 35. People are hitting it at 22. Oh yeah? You might have heard age is a number. And even if you have 3 more years to exit this planet, you can still grow and at least start living your best life yet. So the timing gap, you must crush it. You must crush your timing gap because you know it's there. You said it too. You and I know you've said it too. It's not the right time to do it. Either it's too early or it's too late. It's not the right time. It's not the appropriate time. I'll do it later. Next year, next month. Procrastination. It's eating you up. Stop it now, my dear. It's over to you. Crush that timing gap. Oh, the next one is the mistakes gap. I'm afraid of making mistakes. As I sit here talking to you, or talking with you, better still, you know how many mistakes I'm making here? Oh my goodness, girl, you should be here seeing your girl. But I'm moving on. I am progressing. I am pushing myself. This is life. It even makes the journey more fun. You will make mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, it means you're not growing. You make mistakes, you wise up, you fix it, you move on. You make another mistake, you wise up, you fix it, you move on. And then now those mistakes get back behind you. Now you know that when you come across this obstacle, oh, I've done it before, I made that mistake, I'm not repeating that, I'm moving on to the next one, because you will always make mistakes. You will, look at that, you will always make mistakes. You will always make mistakes. The mistake gap, you have to overpower it and go and go and go, girl. Girl bosses are there, they're making mistakes, but they're still going. And I am still going, and I'm learning from my mistakes, and I'm not repeating them. I'm making new mistakes, and I'm still learning from them. One trick that is really helpful in this mistake gap is to learn from other people. So that's a great way to cut down on the number of mistakes that you can make, or you will make. Learn from other people's mistakes. It's a fast way to growth. However, you also remember that, copying and pasting. Copy and paste can be dangerous. Sometimes you will not even know what you're copying and pasting. So you want to learn from other people's mistakes. However, you want to be able to make your own mistakes and learn, because it's from this that you acquire more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, and more experience that's even richer. Yeah. The next gap is the perfection gap. I want it to be perfect before I put it out there. I want to have it all together perfectly before I let it go. Oh, perfection, perfection, perfection. My sister, am I so perfected in here? Hell no. I'm not even aiming for perfection. So long as I'm making progress, I am okay. Because I don't even know what perfection is. I don't know what it looks like. When I say I want perfection and I hit it, I will still find a piece of fault with it, and I want to fix it, and I keep making no progress because I'm aiming for perfection. You want to be able to crush that as quickly as you can, because perfection will keep you back, and it can keep you back for a long, long time. You don't need to find the best way before you start. No, don't do that. That perfection theory, it's going to hold you back. It's going to keep you back for a long, long time, possibly for forever. And you may never start, you may never initiate, and you will be there and simply give up. So don't be caught up in that. Don't let that kill you. Don't let that kill your potential. Don't let that kill your dreams. Kill it before it kills yours. Perfection gap, it's really dangerous. I can say it's the most dangerous thing. Yeah, for sure. That's it. The next gap is the inspiration gap. I don't feel like it. Oh, yeah, I don't feel like it. It's okay to say you don't feel like it. Sometimes there are those days that you go like, today is not the day. I really don't feel like it. Yes, I do it too. It's good. Take a break if you really don't feel like it, but don't have so many of those days. Those days, don't have too many of them. It can be a big, big trap. Inspiration gap, no. Once in a while you feel lazy, you want to do those relaxing stuff, but if you want to have a lot of them, you're going to be stuck. You are going to be stuck. I'm not saying you should burn out, and not take that well-deserved break, but I'm saying that if you have so many of those, I don't feel like doing it now, I don't feel like doing it today. If you have so many of those, it's not safe for you, it's not safe for your potential, it's not safe for your future, it's not safe for all those people whose life depends on you, whose growth depends on you, whose potential depends on you, whose advancement depends on you. Because take it today that whatever potential is in you, you are here to bless the world with that potential. So if you keep it to yourself, you are depriving other people. So if you have those I don't feel like it, I don't feel like doing it now, I don't feel like doing it today. If you have so many of those, you are not serving the people who will be blessed with your output. So it's not just to your disadvantage, it's to the disadvantage of so many other people. And that is one reason that you have to kill that inspiration gap before it kills yours and it kills the benefits of other people. Can I talk about the next gap? That's a really interesting one. Comparison gap. Comparing. Oh my dear, can we stop it now? There will always be someone better than you. Always be someone prettier than you. Always be someone smarter than me. Always be someone more clever than me. Always be someone more intelligent than us. Always be someone, always be someone, always be someone. There will always be someone. So, your best bet, compare yourself to your previous you, or to the previous you, how you used to be. If I look back on my life, let me not go too far, just 2 years ago, oh my goodness, how thankful I am, God, for how far I have come. How proud I am of myself, girl. Good job, me. Good job, me. Good job, me. I have come really far because I'm not comparing myself to anyone. You will not catch me in that gap. You will not catch me in that trap. If I sense that comparison gap is trying to sneak into my space, into my life, I cut it off, bam, at once. If, for example, I find that I'm beginning to, say, be envious or jealous of someone whom I am following, right away I unfollow them so I don't see what you're doing. Because that is, for me, my best bet of keeping my space, keeping myself, avoiding that comparison, avoiding that jealousy, avoiding that envy. So whatever will help you to stop comparing yourself to other people, do it. Because comparison will not serve you. It will destroy you. It will destroy you before you know. So that comparison gap is the first thing you should even deal with after you deal with the assumption gap that growth doesn't just happen. You must make it happen. Girlie, the last but not the least of the gaps is the expectation gap. When we start, as we progress, the journey may get tougher. And then sometimes, almost at the point of throwing in the towel, we go like, I didn't expect it to be this hard. I expected it to be a little bit easier. We must keep going. It may be tough. It may be tougher than we expected, but we still must keep going. Yes, yes, yes. The expectation gap can be tricky. Life is not cheap. I'm not saying life is not easy, but I'm saying life is not cheap because you need to work, not hard work. You know what I mean? But you need to work. I need to work. We need to work. We need to put in our best effort. We need to put in our best foot in all situations and circumstances because life is not cheap. God didn't have it cheap. Jesus didn't have it cheap. Look at what he went through on the cross. Life is not cheap. So don't assume that it's going to be easy. Those people who we admire because they are successful, they are on top, if some of them, not all of them, would give us a glimpse of what they had to go through, what they had to endure, what they had to overcome to reach that feat, you will marvel. So you and I have to be able to overcome that assumption of expectation that it's cheap, it's easy. Like I said, I wasn't able to share all 3 principles with us, just one principle. However, out of it, these gaps will be able to serve us if we put them into practice, if we put them into good use. So from today, make it your challenge for today, make it your assignment for today. Putting together, at least starting to put together your growth plan, because you want to be able to see yourself somewhere better than where you are now in every aspect of your life, a year from now, 3 years from now, so that you don't remain where you are, because I want to make progress and I want to see you make progress. That's why I'm putting this together for us. You're my friend. I love you, I bless you, I appreciate you, and I sincerely thank you for spending your precious time with me. Stay safe and see you in the next one.